The day I tore down my father's perfect life to save my brother, I didn't go back to Blackwood for the gala, or the awards, or the fake smiles. I went back because my 12-year-old brother's voice, over the phone, sounded like a ghost. I'm Maya. I spent 5 years in the army, doing 3 tours as military police. I've seen the worst things humans can do to each other in the middle of a desert, but nothing prepared me for what was happening in the suburbs of Ohio. My father, David, is what they call a pillar of the community. He's the guy who funds the new library, the guy who shakes hands with the governor, and the guy who apparently has zero clue who he actually married. Her name is Juliana. She's 29, blonde, beautiful, and perfect in every way that makes my skin crawl. My mother passed away 4 years ago, and David married Juliana within 6 months. I was deployed, so I only saw the photos, the happy, glossy, Instagram-filtered lie. But when I finally came home on leave, I didn't see a happy family. I saw Sam. My brother used to be a firecracker. He was the kid who would try to catch frogs with his bare hands and tell me bad dad jokes until I'd literally have to walk out of the room. Now, he was a shadow. He walked like he was trying not to wake up the floorboards. The vibe in that house was cold, sterile. It all came to a head at the Blackwood City Charter Gala. It was a black tie event, 500 people, and my father was receiving the Citizen of the Year award. Juliana was in a silk dress that probably cost more than my truck. I was standing near the buffet, trying to look like I wasn't scanning the room for threats. Old habits die hard. When I saw Juliana lead Sam toward the hallway, she had her hand on his shoulder. To anyone else, it looked like a loving stepmother. To me, I saw the way Sam's shoulder hiked up to his ear. I saw the way his knuckles turned white. I followed them. I caught them in the coat room. Juliana wasn't smiling anymore. Her face was a mask of pure, concentrated venom. She had Sam pinned against the wall, her fingers digging into his arm. "You think your sister is going to save you?" she hissed, her voice like a jagged blade. "She's leaving in 2 days, Sam. And when she's gone, you're gonna wish you'd never opened your mouth about the money." Sam was shaking, his eyes wide, looking past her at me. I didn't think. I didn't de-escalate. I walked in, grabbed her by the hair, and shoved her off my brother. She hit the floor hard, her expensive heels clicking against the marble. "Maya!" Sam gasped. I stood between them, my pulse thumping in my neck. "Sam, go to the car." And now was on the ground, but she wasn't crying. She was laughing. A thin, terrifying sound. "You're just like your mother, Maya. Unstable. Broken." That was it. I didn't hit her. Not yet. I grabbed her phone, which had fallen out of her clutch. I'd seen her hiding it every time I walked into a room. She lunged for me. She was fast, but I was trained. I sidestepped, grabbed her arm, and put her in a controlled descent to the floor. I was an MP, Juliana. I know exactly how much pressure it takes to snap a radius. Don't test me. I walked out into the main ballroom, dragging her by the arm. The music was playing, some slow jazz, and my father was on the stage, holding a golden trophy. "David!" I yelled. The room went silent. 500 pairs of eyes turned toward us. Juliana immediately shifted. The villain disappeared, and the victim arrived. She slumped, started sobbing, and pointed at me with a trembling hand. She's crazy. "David!" She attacked me. She tried to kill me in the coat room. My father rushed off the stage, his face a cocktail of embarrassment and rage. "Maya, what the hell are you doing? Let her go." "Ask her about the bank accounts, Dad," I said, my voice steady, projecting across the room. "Ask her why she's been draining Mom's trust for Sam. Ask her why Sam has bruises on his ribs that look exactly like the toes of those designer shoes she's wearing." The room gasped. It was audible, like a collective intake of breath. "You're lying," Juliana wailed. She looked at the crowd, her eyes brimming with fake tears. "I've been nothing but a mother to those children. David, please call the police." "Oh, I already did," I said. "But here's the thing about people like Juliana. They always have a plan B." The police arrived, led by a guy I went to high school with, Officer Miller. He looked at the scene, the pillar of the community, his shaking wife, and the aggressive soldier. He didn't even ask for my side. "Maya, hands behind your back," Miller said, his voice regretful but firm. "Check the phone, Miller," I said. "We'll check everything at the station. Right now, you're under arrest for felony assault." They took me out in front of everyone. My father wouldn't even look at me. He was too busy comforting Juliana, who was putting on the performance of a lifetime. But I had the phone. Well, I had the SIM card. I'd palmed it when I grabbed the device. The next 48 hours were a blur of cold cells and legal threats. My father's lawyer showed up, not to help me, but to tell me that David was disowning me, and that I was forbidden from contacting Sam. "He's pressing charges, Maya," the lawyer said, sliding a folder across the table. "Juliana has a recording of you. She says you threatened to end her if she didn't leave the family." He played the audio. It sounded like me. It had my cadence, my army slang. "I never said that," I whispered. "The digital signature says otherwise," the lawyer replied. I was stuck. I was facing 10 years for assault and witness tampering. My career was over. My family was gone. But I had a friend. A girl I'd served with named Chloe. She was a tech wizard for the NSA before she went private. I used my one phone call to give her the serial number of the SIM card and the location of where I'd hidden it in the gala trash can. 2 weeks later, I was sitting in a preliminary hearing. The judge was a friend of my father's. Juliana was in the front row, wearing black, looking like a grieving widow even though no one was dead. The prosecutor played the threat recording. "Your Honor," my lawyer said, "a guy Chloe had found for me, someone who didn't care about pillars of the community. We'd like to introduce a rebuttal." He pulled up a screen. "This is an analysis of the audio file," he explained. "If you look at the waveform, there are microgaps. This isn't a recording. This is a deepfake. An AI-generated voice model, built using clips of my client's voice from her public social media posts." Juliana's face didn't move. She was a pro. "Furthermore," my lawyer continued, "we recovered the deleted data from the SIM card. We found a series of encrypted messages between Mrs. Blackwood and a man in Florida, her first husband, the one she forgot to divorce before marrying Mr. Blackwood. The room went dead silent. My father turned slowly to look at his wife. But the most important piece of evidence, my lawyer said, his voice dropping an octave, is this. He played a video. It was from a nanny cam I'd hidden in Sam's room months ago before I even left for my last tour. I'd forgotten it was there, buried in a stuffed bear. Chloe had found the signal. It showed Juliana. She was standing over Sam while he slept. She wasn't hitting him. She was whispering, "If you tell them about the money, Sam, I'll make sure your sister never comes home. I have friends in the Pentagon. I can make her disappear in a combat zone. Do you want your sister to die?" Sam was crying, his eyes closed, nodding, terrified. My father stood up. He didn't look like a pillar anymore. He looked like a man who had just realized he'd invited a monster into his house and handed her his children. He didn't say a word. He walked over to the prosecution table, picked up a heavy glass water pitcher, and no, he didn't hit her. He just poured it over her head. "The marriage is over, Juliana," he said, his voice trembling. "And the police are waiting in the hallway for the bigamy and child endangerment charges." The judge dismissed my case on the spot. I walked out of that courtroom and straight to my brother. He was waiting in the lobby with Officer Miller, who looked like he wanted to crawl into a hole. Sam didn't say anything. He just ran to me and held on so tight, I could barely breathe. "I'm sorry, Maya." He sobbed into my jacket. "I thought she'd kill you." "Hey," I said, pulling back to look him in the eyes. "I'm an MP, remember? We're the ones who catch the bad guys. Not the other way around. It's been 6 months now. Juliana is serving 5 years in a state facility. Turns out she'd done this 3 times before, always picking wealthy, grieving men with young kids. She was a professional, emotional assassin. My father, well, he's not a pillar anymore. He's just a dad. He lost his standing in the town, he lost half his fortune in the legal cleanup, and he's spending 4 nights a week in family therapy with us. Sam is back to telling bad jokes. Yesterday, he caught a frog. As for me, my military career survived, but I decided to transition to the reserves. I'm staying in Blackwood for a while. Because sometimes, the most important tours of duty happen right in your own backyard. Justice isn't always a golden trophy on a stage. Sometimes, it's just the sound of a 12-year-old kid laughing without looking over his shoulder. And if you're listening to this and you feel like you're in a perfect house that's actually a cage, don't wait for a gala. Speak up. Stand up. Because the truth, the real messy, unfiltered truth, is the only thing that can actually set you free. Thanks for being here with me today. It means a lot. Until next time. And if you stayed until the end, drop a lioness in the comments. I love seeing who's still with me. Stay safe out there.